talking about fighting crime and major developments in the DNA science, along with major concerns, too, about heroin deaths in Oregon and across the nation. Here to talk about these very important subjects is Eugene Police Chief Pete Kerns. Thank you so much, Chief, for being here so bright and early.
You're welcome.
This DNA stuff is really amazing, and I'm sure down the road it's going to be really exciting for you and your detectives.
It will be. There's been a couple of developments in the last few years with DNA. There's a new product that's in the field. It's very new, hasn't been tested in court yet, which can compare a DNA sample found at a crime scene to a known DNA sample in about 90 minutes. It's portable and it can be used in the field. There's been a couple of cases made with it, and we're waiting to see what courts do.
Usually these things take days, and if not longer, to
usually it
90
takes,
minutes.
That's right. Usually it takes weeks and months.
Wow.
So to be able to do this in 90 minutes could be very useful for law enforcement, but we still need to see whether or not it's respected by the court system.
And you mentioned Penn State's working on something really amazing.
That's right. There's anthropologists at Penn State and others who are working on developing 3D masks or 3D images of people's faces based on a DNA sample.
Wow.
And so leaving a hair or a blood speck behind at a crime scene could be the equivalent of leaving a photograph of an individual.
Oh, that's absolutely amazing. And one thing we also want to talk about this morning is heroin. And I know this is a major concern. I've heard law enforcement people talking about this from coast to coast. Some, especially small towns, are now seeing a lot of heroin overdose. And what's behind this, and what do we need to know here in Eugene?
There's been about a 45% increase in heroin overdose deaths in the United States in the last 5 years. And Drug Enforcement Administration officials have seized about 300% more heroin on our borders in the last 5 years also. One theory is that the more effective efforts at reducing the unlawful distribution of painkillers like OxyContin have led to some people who are addicted to those drugs to purchasing less expensive heroin. Heroin isn't, obviously the dosage isn't as understood as prescription drugs, so more people have been dying from that. So that's the current theory. Some police agencies across the country, not very many, but some have been authorized to carry Narcan, which is normally only administered by doctors or emergency personnel or emergency medical technicians. But some police agencies are authorized to carry it, which is an antidote to opiate drug overdoses.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming by and bringing us up to date on that, and good luck to you in all your efforts. And I know that you're doing the hard work out there.